Happy Arvo. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? I have over here in my notes, 1999 Lucy Dudko, hijack helicopter. That sounds pretty fascinating. I searched it on up in the YouTubes, and despite spelling helicopter like that, it worked. I found a video on it. And this video looks, I mean, just based off the thumbnail, it looks really good. And this channel, I mean, I feel like this is the most underrated channel on YouTube right now. If I could bet on a channel, I got my chips right here. I'm betting it. I'm investing in this channel, Strange Australian. I'm subscribing. I'll wait to watch the video before I like it. But go check out their channel. Go subscribe to them. This seems really underappreciated for how great of a channel this seems like. The videos just all look really interesting. Anyway, let's react to it.
In March 1999, a helicopter landed at Silverwater Prison in Sydney to pick up convicted bank robber John Killick. But the helicopter wasn't there to transfer John to another prison. It was his escape plan.
What?
John flew out of Silverwater Prison that day. He would evade capture for several weeks. But to truly understand John's story, you must look back at his past and all of the events that led up to one of the most daring prison escapes ever.
Right off the bat, that's the most badass thing I ever heard. Honestly, I don't know what this guy did. If he killed anyone or did anything horrible like that, then you gotta get him back. But if he didn't, like if he's just a robber, I think it said a bank robber, I say let him go. Let him go. After pulling off a stunt like that.
John Killick's life was filled with unfortunate events from the very beginning. His father was an alcoholic who would lash out and abuse both John and his mother in their Balmain home. Her death when he was 17 and the foreclosure of the family home were pivotal events in John's life. He became hardened to the rest of the world and left home. It marks the beginning of John's crimes.
Damn.
He started with
That's his origin story.
several petty thefts to survive, which would fund his gambling efforts. When he lost money through more gambling, he carried out further thefts. John's petty theft.
Damn, if only the gambling had worked. It doesn't happen very often, does it? Where the gambling works.
Eventually escalated to where he thought the real money was, bank robbing. He carried out his first major heist when he was 24, stealing $40,000 from the Commonwealth Bank in Canley Heights.
Damn.
John did have a gun to aid in his robberies, but only fired warning shots.
Oh, he did fire shots? Okay, I don't know. I might retract my statement about letting this guy go, but okay. Warning shots, okay.
Robberies of John's led to prison time all over Australia. Throughout his time behind bars, he encountered other notable crime figures such as Nettie Smith and Stephen Bradley, the man responsible for killing 8-year-old Graham Thorne. John was also in Pentridge Prison the day that Ronald Dry became the last person ever executed in Australia.
Really? So the death penalty was abolished in 1990 something in Australia? Fascinating.
John's crimes didn't stop him from meeting women who cared about him.
It never does, does it? I swear, some of you women out there, what is it about these hardened criminals that you just can't resist? That is such a thing over here in America, at least. All the most notorious criminals have all these love letters. Half of them get married.
Met his first wife Gloria
in jail.
At a chess tournament in 1973. He was honest with her about his past crimes and did keep out of trouble for a while, but things didn't.
She's like, I can fix him.
Last between them. Gloria divorced John after he lost the business they bought together to gambling bookkeepers. John pulled off multiple escapes from custody throughout his criminal life. His first attempt saw him flee captors while being escorted to Bathurst Courthouse, only to be caught after hiding in a chicken pen. And in 1968, he attempted a breakout at Penrith Prison, but was soon recaptured. He also
It always just fascinates me how these people, these career criminals, they keep letting them go, you know? And I'm not even saying, I mean, everybody deserves a second chance, but they gave this guy, it sounds like they gave this guy a dozen chances. It's crazy.
ended his stay at Bogoro Prison early in 1983 with the aid of one of his lovers. But it wouldn't be the last time that John escaped with the help of a woman who had fallen for him. And the next time would be even more spectacular.
Is that Lucy? Because the search was for a woman, Lucy.
In his way to Canberra in the 1990s, John began a relationship with a librarian named Lucy.
Oh my God.
She found out all about his past and would turn out to be incredibly supportive.
What the heck? The last person you'd expect, the librarian.
In January 1999, John was sent to Sydney's Silverwater Prison after robbing the National Australia Bank in Barrel. He staged the robbery because, as he may have guessed, he had to pay off a gambling debt. Only weeks into his stay at Silverwater, John decided...
I mean, I'm going to be honest, though. If this guy didn't actually hurt anyone, then I'm leaning toward this guy is kind of a badass. Everything he did, I denounce and reject. But you gotta just... It would make a great movie.
Decided he was going to escape prison once more. He became acquainted with a conman who had also flown helicopters, and they discussed what someone would need to know to successfully hijack one. After noticing how the prison guards took little notice of helicopters flying overhead, John was convinced. This time, his escape wouldn't be on foot, but in the air.
No freaking way, man. And this actually worked? Oh my God, that blows my mind. Blows my mind. I can't fathom the type of... It epitomizes... It's just crazy enough to work. Sorry, I smacked the microphone. It's just crazy enough to work. That's why that saying is a thing. This also reminds me, are you guys familiar with Dread Robert, what's his name? Dread, you know, the guy who started the Silk Road. Dread Pirate Roberts. Ross Ulbricht. If you look into, I can't help but mention, if you look into his like writings and stuff and his text messages that were uncovered by the police and stuff as evidence, he had this whole exact same plot where it was like, one of his buddies was like, yeah, if you ever get captured, don't worry. One day you're going to hear a helicopter. That's going to be me picking you up in the prison yard. And it just, when I read that, it's like, that is so crazy. And this person actually did it.
Would need Lucy's help though. To prepare for the daring plan, Lucy watched the movie Breakout, which features a woman breaking her husband out of jail with a helicopter. And as it would turn out, life would imitate art. On the 25th of March...
How did she learn to fly a helicopter?
1999, Lucy boarded pilot Tim Joyce's Bell 47 light helicopter for a joy flight over Sydney Olympic Park. The upcoming Olympic Games meant more people than normal were interested in seeing the area from the air. The pilot thought it was strange that Lucy hadn't brought a camera with her, but he soon found out why. Lucy was only interested in seeing Silverwater Prison. When the pilot refused to fly any lower, Lucy pulled out her gun. The pilot tried to send out a distress call with the helicopter's transponder.
So she told the dude, she said, you're landing in that prison. Okay, she didn't fly the helicopter. That makes more sense.
But Lucy was prepared. She batted his arm away from the device with her pistol.
Oh.
Lucy then produced and unloaded some machine gun from her bag.
Hey, you know, the fact that it's unloaded, I like that because it keeps me, you know, I kind of want to think these people are kind of badass. Like, I don't know what the right word for it is. You know, I want I don't want them actually to do anything horrible, because so far, this is badass.
And ordered the pilot to land in the exercise yard of Silverwater Prison, where John would be waiting. They sat down on the ground. With her gun pointed at the pilot, John saw his chance and climbed into the helicopter with Lucy. The cheers of the other prisoners filled the courtyard.
This is epic. It's epic. It's epic. Let him go.
As he made his ascent. Prison officers find
they should have to pay. Here's their sentence. They should both get ankle bracelets, you know, make sure, you know, they're going to have to be tracked and stuff. Okay. Their civil rights are gone. They've done one too many crazy things. But apart from that, they just have to pay this helicopter dude, I'm going to say, 300 grand for, you know, making him assist, you know, causing him trauma. Apart from that, let him go.
3 shots at the escaping helicopter.
Oh, they fired at it?
Prison officers fired 3 shots at the escaping helicopter, hitting it twice, but the gunfire wasn't enough to slow.
Okay, now see, that's another $1 million right there, because now you're putting the helicopter driver, pilot, you're putting his life in danger. I didn't consider that. It's now $1.3 million you have to pay to this dude for what you did.
Slow the hijackers down. The pilots flew them out of the prison courtyard. The hijacking was a success.
Oh my God.
There was just one problem. Lucy had forgotten her car keys for the next stage of their journey.
No.
Realizing the helicopter was moving very slowly, John ordered the pilot to land in Parkland near Macquarie University. After they landed, Lucy argued with John that they should take the pilot hostage. The pair settled for tying the pilot to a nearby tree. John,
you know, okay, that makes sense. That's another strike. That's another 100 grand for tying him to the tree. 1.4.
John and Lucy knew the police would be on their trail. The lovers commandeered a car, drove to North Sydney to catch a train, and considered fleeing overseas to avoid the law.
That's the thing about Australia, you know, you gotta it's an island. It's hard to actually escape. Now, it is gigantic, so you could hide in the bush, but you're gonna die out there.
Phases in newspapers, though, it became clear to them that they wouldn't be leaving the country. John and Lucy instead decide to stay on the move. While traversing the country, John dyed his hair to avoid being identified, with Lucy having no such disguise. Despite their best efforts, they were eventually caught. Using the names Mr. and Mrs. Brown, John and Lucy...
Mr. and Mrs. Brown? That's the best?
...stayed at the Bass Hill Tourist Park in New South...
I guess it's smart to use a common name so that, you know, there might happen to be a Mrs. and Mrs. Brown checking into the hotel or something, you know, wherever they go. And they could pretend to be them or something. You know, that sort of makes sense.
Wales. The park's manager recognized Lucy when they checked in, and he contacted the authorities.
Damn.
Police surrounded John and Lucy's cabin the next morning and ordered the pair to give themselves up over loudspeakers. In the end, they were captured 45 days after the prison break.
Wow.
John was given a
45 days, that's a long time.
23-year sentence, while Lucy received 10.
Wait, sorry. I need to know the sentence. I was like thinking about
45 days after the prison break. John was given a 23-year sentence, while Lucy received 10.
It's kind of light, to be honest. I'm kind of shocked. She only got 10 years for doing all that? Hijacking a helicopter and getting a dude out of prison? 10 years? That's it? So she's out. She'd been out.
The two lovers did keep in touch through letters for several years, but their love didn't last.
Aww.
Lucy ended their relationship after she became a born-again Christian and was released from prison. She has since changed her name and avoided the public spotlight.
Oh
John's
man, shout out to Lucy wherever you are.
Escapades would prove to be his final prison escape and his life went on a new trajectory.
Yeah, I'd say after that one failed, there's no, you can't outdo that one.
After being released from prison in 2015, John has written...
Oh, he's released. He's out of jail. I didn't do the math on him. He was freaking released.
multiple books about his life, from his upbringing to all of his criminal escapades.
You better be paying some of the profits to the helicopter dude you hijacked.
In any interview you read or watch with him, it's clear that John regrets how his past crimes have affected people.
That's
While
good.
he made a point never to shoot to kill during his many robberies, John is sorry for the trauma they inflicted on those unlucky enough to be present.
He's
during
sorry.
them. John has even made amends with the pilot whose helicopter was
Hey!
during his most famous prison escape. And John's time in prison did rehabilitate him in many ways.
Good.
Today, John champions education for prisoners as a way for them to realize the harm they have done to victims of their crimes and to reduce the likelihood of reoffending.
First of all, I have to say, that video was excellent. This channel, like I suspected, hugely underrated. 314 views. What on I guarantee one of these comments, these 4 comments, it's like, this channel's underrated. Watch. As per usual, top quality comment or content. Where's the other comments? Oh, they're replies. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, I lost that bet. But go subscribe to this dude's channel. Because that was epic. And that was an epic story. What an absolute mad lad. I must say it. My final verdict is he's a badass. Now, that's not to say anybody should be out there doing anything like he did. You shouldn't be hijacking helicopters. That's for sure. Or robbing banks. But I don't know. He's kind of badass. Oh, man. That's crazy. Oh, yeah. I was going to mention, if you're interested in, like, prison escapes, an American one that is totally wild that happened, relatively recently. I remember his name was David Sweat and Richard Matt. Look up these dudes' prison escape. They had a similar type of thing where they this was the prison guard, this woman, she fell in love with one of them. But they did the old dig through. Oh my gosh, I didn't have the screen pulled up. These dudes. She fell in love with him. I think it was him, not him. But they were buddies. They dug through their wall. It's an incredible story. Just like not as incredible as this one, honestly. The helicopter, that puts this one way over the top. That was amazing. Oh, I gotta like the video. I said I would do that. Boom. Thank you for watching, guys. And I will see you tomorrow.